Good day, everyone. In this video, we will be explaining on what we have learned on Colreg rules number 1 to rules number 19. First is rules number 1 to rules number 5, presenting by Cadet Manalaysay.
Rule 1. Application. These rules shall apply to all vessels upon the sea and all waters connected therewith navigable by seagoing vessels. Nothing in these rules shall interfere with the operation of special rules made by an appropriate authority for roadstead, harbors, rivers, lakes, or any inland waterways connected with the high seas and navigable by seagoing vessels. Such special rules shall conform as closely as possible to these rules. Rule 1 application. Local regulation can be found in sailing direction, pilot books, guide to port entry. Rule 1. Application for what types of ship can government issue special rules. Ship of war vessel under convoy, fishing vessels fishing as a fleet, flash vessels, floating drill, floating docks, British submarines, aircraft carriers. Rule 2. Responsibility. Nothing in these rules shall exonerate any vessel or the owner, master or crew thereof, from the consequences of any neglect to comply with these rules or of the neglect of any precaution which may be required by the ordinary practice of seamen or by the special circumstances of the case. Exonerate. Release someone from a duty or obligation. Rule 2 responsibility keywords. Any vessel, the owner, the master, the crew. Consequences, any neglect to comply with these rules. Neglect of any precautions. Ordinary practice of seamen. Special circumstances of the case. Rule 2 responsibility. Any vessel, power driven, sailing, small, large. The owner today. Today ship owners are either companies or multinationals. Some of them are more interested in making money than handling ships. Rule 3 definition. The word vessel includes every description of watercraft, including non-displacement craft, wing in grand effect, and seaplanes, used or capable of being used as means of transportation on water. The phrase used or capable of being used as a means of transportation implies the practical transportation of people cargo. Inner tubes are not included, although sailboards. The term power-driven vessel means any vessel propelled by machinery. The example is general cargo ship, LNG tanker, and bulk carrier. The term vessel engaged in fishing means any vessel fishing with nets, lines, trolls, or other fishing apparatus with restrict maneuverability, but does not include a vessel fishing with trolling lines. Other fishing apparatus which do not restrict maneuverability. The term vessel not under command means a vessel which through some exceptional circumstance is unable to maneuver as required by these rules and is therefore unable to keep out of the way of another vessel. Vessel not under command. Examples: propulsion casualty, steering casualty, vessel with anchor down but not holding, vessel riding on anchor chains, sailing vessel become. Rule 4 application. Rule in this section apply in any condition of visibility. Rule 5, lookout. Every vessel shall at all times maintain a proper lookout by sight and hearing as well as by all available means appropriate in the prevailing circumstances and condition so as to make a full appraisal of the situation and of the risk of collision. Every vessel, large vessels, small vessels, power-driven vessels, sailing vessels, NUC, vessels restricted in ability to maneuver, deep draught vessels, pilot vessels, vessels at anchor, vessel ground, and etc. At all times, by day, at night, in restricted visibility. Never leave the bridge unless properly relieved. Proper lookout. Use your eyes, use your ears, and then use your feet. All available means appropriate. Use of radar, use of AIS, use of VHF.
Thank you, Cadet Manalaysay. I'm Cadet Harold C. Coliat reporting rules number 6 to rules number 10. Rules number 6, safe speed. Safe speed is where boat can take proper and effective action, also stop within appropriate distance based on prevailing condition. The following factors shall be visibility, traffic, maneuverability, wind and sea and current, background light, and relative drag. Every vessel shall at all times proceed at a safe speed so that it can take proper and effective action to avoid collision and be stopped within a distance appropriate to prevailing circumstance and condition. In determining a safe speed, the following factors shall be state of visibility. The current visibility, whether it is restricted by the time of day. Next are traffic density. The density of the surrounding boat traffic. Also, maneuverability of the vessel. The inherent ability of a vessel to change its course path. Presence of background light such as from shore lights or from the backscatter of her own light. A vessel when she leaves a port is surrounded by a lot of bright shore light and her navigation light may be floated up with this light. State of wind, sea, and current. The proximity of navigation hazards. Draught in relation to the available depth of water. Draught is always measured perpendicular to baseline and in the center plane. It is measured from the draught line, which may be different from the baseline, but it is always perpendicular to the baseline. These rules describe the factor which should be considered in determining safe speed. Several of these refers specifically to vessel equipment with radar. Rule number 7, risk of collision. Every vessel shall use all available means appropriate to the prevailing circumstance and condition to determine if risk of collision exists. If there is any doubt, such risk shall be deemed to exist. Covering risk of collision, which warrants that assumptions shall not be made on the basis of scanty information, especially scanty radar information. All vessels shall use all available means appropriate to prevailing circumstance and condition to determine if there is risk of condition. Risk shall be deemed to exist if there is any doubt. Note that this means that as soon as there is doubt, the Colreg fresh duties on a vessel, even if she is a stand-on vessel. Assumption shall not be made based on scanty information, especially scanty radar information. In determining risk of collision, the following shall be among those considered risk. Exist if the compass bearing of an approaching vessel does not approachable change but may exist even when there is a bearing change, particularly when approaching a vessel with a very large vessel or tow or vessel at close range. Rules number 8. Action to avoid collision. Any action taken to avoid collision shall be taken in accordance with the rules of this part, and shall, if the circumstance of the case admit, be positive, made in ample time, and with due regard to the observance of good seamanship. Covers action to be taken to avoid collision, too large enough to be readily apparent to another vessel. If you are passing at a safe distance, in this situation, risk collision is real and effective. Action is necessary to avoid a collision. Always careful check the effectiveness of the action. Risk of collision remains until the other vessel is passed and clear. An appreciable change of bearing may not be sufficient to establish that the other vessel will pass clear, especially with large vessel. Rules number 9. Narrow channel. A vessel proceeding along the course of a narrow channel or fairway shall keep as near to the outer limit of the channel or fairway which lies on her starboard side as is safe and practicable. 1357 is an odd number, and 2468 is an even number. Example of it is, your ship is on the right starboard with 1357 odd number, which is the other ship should be on left side with the starboard of 2468. A vessel of less than 20 meters in length or a sailing vessel shall not impede the passage of vessel which can safely navigate only within a narrow channel or fairway. The later vessel may use the sound signal prescribed in Rule 34, which is maneuvering and warning signals. If in doubt as to the intention of the crossing vessel, the following should be: first, I intend to overtake your starboard side. Sound signal should be 2 prolonged blasts followed by 1 short blast. Second, I intend to overtake you on your port side. Sound should be 2 prolonged blasts followed by 2 short blasts. Third, the vessel to be overtaken shall, if in agreement, 1 prolonged, 1 short, 1 prolonged, and 1 short blast. How about the vessel is in doubt? She may sound signals at least 5 short and rapid blasts on the whistle. Last is rules number 10, traffic separation scheme. Rules 10 state that ship crossing traffic lanes are required to do so as nearly as practicable at right angles to the general directions of traffic flow. This reduces confusions to other ships as to the crossing vessel intention and crossing, and at the same time enable the vessel to crossing the lane as quick as possible. Traffic separation scheme adopted by the organizations and does not relieve any vessels of her obligations under any other rule. A vessel using a traffic separation scheme shall, proceeding in the appropriate traffic lane in the general directions of traffic flow for the lane, so far as practicable, keep clear of a traffic separation lane or separation zone. Normally join or leave a traffic lane at the termination of lane. But when joining or leaving from either side shall do as at small an angle to the general direction of traffic flow as practicable. A vessel shall not use an insured traffic zone when she can safely use the appropriate traffic lane within the adjacent traffic separation scheme. However, vessel of less than 20 meters in length, sailing vessel and vessel engaged in the fishing may use the insured traffic zone. A vessel may use an insured traffic zone when en route to or from a port, offshore installation or structure pilot station, or any other place situated with the insured traffic zone, or to avoid immediately danger. A vessel other than a crossing vessel or vessel joining or leaving a lane shall not normally enter the separation zone or cross a separation line except in case of emergency to avoid immediate danger, to engage in fishing within a separation zone. Always remember this traffic separation scheme have termination, separation lane, traffic lane, and ensured traffic zone. A vessel may be prevented from being anchored in traffic isolation scheme or in areas close to its termination. Next, rules presented by Gabriel.
So good day, sir. My name is Gabriel Peji, and I'm about to report to you the rules 11 to 15. So Rule 11 is application. Rule 11 says that this section applies to vessel in sight of one another. So it means that the vessel you have sight on should also see you. So both of you can see and observe each other. Rule 12 is sailing vessel. So power-driven vessel must avoid and shall give way to all sailing vessels when they are under sail. So when each has the wind on the different side, the vessel which has the wind on the port side shall keep out of the way of the other vessel. But when both of the wind has on the same side, the vessel which is to windward shall keep out of the way of the vessel which is to leeward. If a vessel with the wind on the port side sees another vessel on his windward and it cannot determine certainly whether he has the wind on the wind or starboard side, she shall keep out of the way of the other vessel. So rule 13 is overtaking. The overtaking vessel must keep out of the way of the vessel being overtaken. The stand-on vessel is the one being overtaken and should maintain his course and his speed. So rule 14, we have head-on situation. So when two power-driven vessels are meeting on point and they are about to have a risk of collision, so both of them shall alter their course to starboard side, so they won't have any risk of collision and they will have both to pass on their port side. So the last one is crossing situation. So situation, the one who has the vessel on the starboard side should keep out of the way of the other vessel, and the vessel on the starboard side shall continue in moving forward. So the next one who will be reporting is Cadet Hernandez.
Hi, Cadet Patrick Hernandez. I will reporting to you the Rule 16 to 19. Rule 16 is the action by giveaway vessel. If you are the giveaway vessel, you must keep out of the other vessel. You are the one who will avoid another vessel to avoid the collision occur. Take action early and substantial. Action to keep well clear. This is an example situation to know that you are the giveaway vessel. If there is a closing situation, the vessel who have another vessel in her starboard side must be the giveaway vessel. The next rule is for rule 17, action by standby vessel. This vessel must naturally keep her course and speed. If the giveaway vessel not take action, stand on vessel needs to take action to avoid the collision. Stand-on vessel can change her course, but not in her port side. It is best to go in starboard side. For example, if two vessels is nearly close to each other and the giveaway vessel is not already take action or maybe it takes action but in critical time, the stand-on vessel needs to change to her course to starboard side to avoid any possibilities of collision. The next rule is Rule 18, responsibilities between vessels. This rule is about the hierarchy of the vessel. You must apply this to know if you must keep the way or another vessel must need to keep the way for you. The hierarchy of this vessel it includes the power driven vessel driven vessel under keep out of the way of a vessel not under command, a vessel in their ability to maneuver, a vessel engaged in fishing, a sailing vessel. Vessel, because according to the hierarchy, the power-driven vessel must keep out of the way to avoid collision. In any vessel, of course, she want to pass because if the vessel is not the same power-driven, there is no rule for giveaway vessel to go. Just avoid the collision to occur must be provided. And the last rule I will explain to you is the rule 19. Conduct of vessel in restricted visibility. These rules applies to vessel not inside of one another when navigating in or area of restricted visibility. The speed shall adjusted to a safe speed to suit the prevailing visibility and the engine should be ready to maneuver. That's all. Thank you for listening.